Oh shit, you have it? Yo, I would literally do anything for that. Okay, now, I know I just said I would literally do anything for it, but I won't do that. I have standards. Okay, fine, I'll do it. But I'm not gonna be happy about it, okay? Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Well, it looks like I've officially sold out. But it's gonna be worth it, so it's fine. Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Ryan Kelly, and today we're gonna be talking about how I sold out. And today we're gonna be talking about anime. Ow, fuck! Okay, now I know I said I would never talk about anime on my channel again, but hear me out. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is an anime that I never actually watched growing up, but always wanted to since my brother and I were such avid Yu-Gi-Oh! Card collectors back in the day. So that's why I thought it might be interesting to finally watch the anime. So logically, I figured I should start with the first season of the anime and see what I thought about it. A quick disclaimer, even though I've collected the cards when I was a kid, I never actually played the game, so I don't know all the rules. In other words, you won't hear me talk about things like, oh, that's not how the card works, or you can't actually do that in the game. I will purely be looking at what this season does right with its characters, story arc, censorship, and other things along those lines. So with that being said, let's get right into the first season of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. Going into the show, I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to enjoy it since I had heard so many negative things about it. But I think that after watching the first season of the anime, I can safely say that it was one of those kind of shows that is so bad that it's good. A good example is how The Room was a horribly made movie that is so famous for how bad it is that it got another movie just to mock and show how bad The Room really was. Even though The Room is really bad, it's still loved by a lot of people, myself included, because of how hilariously horrible some of its scenes are written, and how awkward the dialogue can be at times. In other words, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was extremely entertaining to watch just because of how bad the dub was. To really understand why I believe Yu-Gi-Oh! Is so bad that it's good, we need to address one of the major problems with the anime, being its ridiculous censorship. If you're not aware, Yu-Gi-Oh! As well as many other 4Kids animes had serious problems when it came to its censorship. Another anime that got its dub screwed over in the West was One Piece. If you don't know about that train wreck of a dub, then I would highly recommend you look further into that. That aside, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a lot of censorship that is ridiculous and silly and ends up ruining the tone that episode is setting. Like the most famous example being in episode 8 where Kaiba is supposed to be held at gunpoint by Pegasus' guards, while in the dub, Kaiba is held at finger point, the most threatening weapon of them all. Meanwhile, the anime has an episode where Taya is about to get raped by her gym teacher and Yugi sends his soul to the Shadow Realm, which is the equivalent of killing someone in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe. Speaking of death, let's talk about another ridiculous thing that they censored in the dub. In the dub, Joey's sister, Serenity, was not about to die like she was in the sub, but rather, she was about to lose her eyesight forever, causing Joey to compete in the Dual Kingdom Championship, because he wanted to get the prize money for an operation that could help Serenity be able to see again. Okay, I'll admit that I can understand why a kid's show might want to censor death, since death can be a rather hard topic to cover respectively. But the way they avoided death and replaced it with her eyesight makes the stakes way lower and more unrealistic, because at the end of the day, she's only losing her eyesight. It's not like she's dying or anything. Oh wait, that's exactly what's supposed to be happening in the anime. Oh, and let's not forget the most infamous episode in the season, the one where Kaiba threatens to kill himself if Yugi beats him in a duel. I'm not even gonna get into this because that's just opening a can of worms that I would rather not get into. Regardless, I find it funny that it's okay to have a character threaten to kill himself if he loses a duel, but yet it's not okay to show Tristan punch Joey or any kind of physical violence, and if there was violence that couldn't be censored to add stupid sound effects to the punches. And that is just one of the many things that makes Yu-Gi-Oh! So great to watch. I personally find it funny to see what Yu-Gi-Oh! Considers to be okay to show kids and what they think is too risky to air. So let's talk about the next and equally important factor that makes this anime as fun to watch as it is, and that is how it handles its exposition. If you don't know what exposition means, let me explain. Exposition is the way in which an idea or theory is explained. In other words, how an anime explains its plot lines and in-world physics, laws, and magic. Usually, in a good TV show or movie, they will show, not tell, when it comes to revealing plot lines, ulterior motives, and character goals. Yu-Gi-Oh! Will over-explain everything, even if it might be the most obvious thing ever, like when a character's in a bind. The anime feels like it needs to explain exactly what's going on, just in case you can't see it for yourself what's happening, or have a specific card, even if it is super obvious or was already explained in a previous episode. This would happen sometimes within the same episode that a card was introduced. It's hilarious to see how over the top Yu-Gi-Oh! Will go to explain a basic concept that even a toddler could understand. But again, maybe the writers thought that anyone who watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a toddler and didn't respect the intellect of their audience. Okay, 4Kids, I see how it is. Alright, so having comically bad use of censorship and exposition already makes Yu-Gi-Oh! Entertaining in itself, but another thing that makes this anime so bad that it's good is its absurd, super cheesy, and cliche plot armor that every character seems to have whenever they're about to lose a duel. Before a duel even starts, I already know who's gonna win based off of the way the episode portrays a character, but that's another problem in itself that I'll address later in this review. I bring this up because it's important in understanding why plot armor in this specific season of the anime is so funny. Because I already know who's gonna win the duel, I always get excited to see how the writers are gonna handle saving the character in question no matter what situation they're in. The best example of this is the episode where Yami is fighting Dark Bakura to save his friend's souls. In the last episode of this specific duel, Dark Bakura is about to win the duel, when he uses the card that, like all the other main characters, the normal Bakura's soul is trapped inside of. Once Dark Bakura uses this card, the regular Bakura not only defies the rules that they set up in that same episode to let Yami win the duel, the writers also had Yami use a power that prior to that moment he didn't even know he had to pull Dark Bakura's soul out of the regular Bakura's body so that he could be sent to the graveyard instead of Bakura's soul. And yes, it is just as much of a mess in the anime as it sounds like it would be. I just love that the only reason why they won that battle was because of pure luck and plot armor. So, as you can see, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is all over the place with its weird censorship, heavy and unnecessary exposition dumps, and wonderfully convenient plot armor just when a character needs it. And the funny thing is that this is just the beginning of what makes this show so much fun to watch, while at the same time being horrible. That's not even to mention the fact that I haven't even begun to discuss its overarching narrative, its characters, and filler episodes. Hello? Oh, bet it's you? Yeah. I'm doing the review right now. So, you still got the stuff? Perfect. Okay, I'll call you once it's done. Thank you so much. Bye. Oh shit, I was filming all that. It's fine. I'll edit it out in post. So, anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about the overarching plot of the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! To be brief, because I don't want to cover ground you already know about, the story of this season of the anime is that Yugi and friends get invited to Pegasus' private island, the Dueling Kingdom, to compete in a competition that if they won would save Yugi's grandfather and Joey's sister's eyesight. While this story is fine and all, it definitely has its fair share of dumb and easily avoidable moments like the entire battle with Mai and Taya. This episode was 100% pointless because it still ends with Mai pretty much giving Yugi the star chips he needed for free because she could have beaten Taya with her last card, but decided not to. But Ryan, this was done so Maya could have some character growth. Well, considering that we've already seen her character change significantly in earlier episodes, as well as the moment where she literally was about to give Yugi her star chips at the beginning of the episode, I think that this specific instance of character growth was a little redundant. I also want to point out that the only reason why Yugi was even able to get the chance to compete in the semifinals was because Mai was conveniently able to find 15 star chips and find Yugi and his friends before they left the island. There's that wonderful plot armor at it yet again. Getting back on track, the main issue I have with the story is that right from the beginning of every single duel and every single episode, I knew exactly who was going to win. I am not kidding. There was not a single episode where I wasn't able to predict who was going to win a duel. I knew who was going to win because anyone who fought for revenge, money, or any other selfish reason that doesn't have to do with the heart of the cards was determined to lose. It didn't matter if they were about to win because they outplayed the main character. All that matters is believing in your deck and hoping that you'll get just the right card to clutch the match. So I might not be a Yu-Gi-Oh expert, but I'm pretty sure that cards in duel monsters are just pieces of paper with monsters, spells, and traps drawn on them. I don't think they're sentient and obey one person over another. But again, what do I know? I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah, if you believe in the heart of the cards, it's impossible to lose any duels, so because of that, the moment that someone says they have the heart of the cards on their side, or is fighting for someone else, I knew that they were gonna win. So it took the suspense out of every battle because Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a little too predictable. Although, I will admit, something that caught me off guard was the fact that Kaiba won against Yugi by threatening to kill himself over a child's card game. I definitely did not see that one coming. And now that I think about it, this was kind of pointless too because a few episodes later, Kaiba loses against Pegasus and gets his soul captured with Mokuba's. Oh yeah, I guess you have to have that moment where the main character loses so he isn't completely unstoppable. Oh wait, he actually should have won that match. Okay, never mind, Yugi's still overpowered. Actually, scratch that, Yami's overpowered because Yugi didn't do shit for most of the duels. Okay, I think I've talked about the story for long enough. Let's talk about something that makes this anime truly special. Its characters. I want to focus on the characters of the anime because they're pretty interesting to say the least. However, out of all the characters in the anime, there were two of them that I found to be extremely useless, being Mokuba and Tristan. I feel like Mokuba's only reason for being a character is to give Kaiba a reason to be involved in the plot of the first season, because all Mokuba does is have one battle with Yugi where he gets destroyed, then gets captured by Pegasus, and is imprisoned for the rest of the arc. Okay, so he does have a bigger role in the filler arc of the first season, but I'll get into that a little bit later. As for Tristan, he literally does nothing for the entire anime. He doesn't have a single duel, and there isn't a single episode that revolves around him. Even Taya had a duel, even if it was the most pointless and boring one in the season. The only notable thing he does is save Mokuba, who just so happens to be another useless character. Also, something that's really odd about Tristan is the fact that his voice actor changes after just 10 episodes. Tristan went from having this really goofy voice to a way more generic and serious one. I understand that voice actors can change throughout a show's runtime, but I find it weird that they change it so early in the middle of the season. Why not just re-record his lines for the first 10 episodes? That aside, I think that out of all the characters in the anime, Tristan is by far the most underwhelming one because of the fact that he doesn't contribute to the story, doesn't have any interesting characteristics, doesn't have any character development, and isn't an interesting character. If you want an interesting character, then look no further than my two favorite characters from the anime being Kaiba and Joey. Oh man, where do I even start with these characters? Well, let's start by talking about how great of a character Kaiba is. Now let me clarify that he isn't a great character when it comes to the way he's written, but rather how much of a fucking joke he is. Let me explain. For starters, it should be very apparent how serious Kaiba takes duel monsters. It's the seriousness about a child's card game that makes his character so much fun to watch. Moments where he quantum analyzes his first duel with Yugi to figure out how he lost, or having him go into a virtual video game despite the fact that he was just about to fire his employees for planning to take over his company, it's just so silly and ridiculous that there's no way you can't laugh at it. Now, this is more so a personal thing, but I absolutely love Kaiba's voice. I think it's the perfect fit for his character and makes moments where he's explaining a child's card game that much more enjoyable. While we're on the topic of voice acting, let's talk about Joey's character. I love Joey's Bronx accent so much. It makes his dumb character feel even dumber. Not that having a Bronx accent makes you dumb or anything. Hell, I'm from Texas, so I of all people should know about dumb stereotypes. That aside, I think Joey's another example of great casting. This accent also fits his character perfectly. He's cocky and acts like he knows everything, but in reality he doesn't actually know what's going on. I mean, this is the same guy who had to be reminded that he had an important card on the field that got him to win the game. I wish I was kidding. In summary, the show has some truly funny characters to watch like Joey and Kaiba. However, it also has some useless and annoying characters like Mokuba and Tristan. Okay, I think you get the point. While Yu-Gi-Oh! Is without a doubt a flawed and poorly written anime, it does not change the fact that it is a great show to binge because of its absurdness, unintentionally funny moments, and a decent enough story that keeps you engaged and doesn't suffer the filler episode syndrome. Yes, it does have filler episodes, but I actually found myself enjoying the filler episodes more than I did the actual ones. Like the mini arc with the dungeon dice monsters was probably my favorite part of the first season, just because I personally find the concept of dungeon dice monsters to be more interesting, and Duke is a real treat to watch. I hope he becomes a reoccurring character in the anime because it would just be such a waste to use him in a filler arc. Now, I could go into great detail about the filler episodes in this season, but I'll save my thoughts on those episodes for a later video if that's something y'all would be interested in. That aside, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is definitely an anime that you should check out if you're looking for something that isn't too serious and stupidly fun to watch. I honestly could say that I'll probably start watching the second season of Yu-Gi-Oh! But I won't be doing it anytime soon, because binging this anime took a big toll on me and my brain cells. Alright, well, I think that covers everything I need to talk about. So all that's left now is to edit the video. But first, I need to make a phone call. Hey, yeah, I was letting you know that I just finished that video. So, you got the stuff? What? It's already in my mailbox? Alright, I'll go check it out. 1 second. Yeah, I got it. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Woo! I'm so excited. I finally got my blue eyes shining dragon. God damn it, they gave me the wrong fucking card! Fucking damn it! Lucas, I'm sorry, buddy, but I have to film a movie. I have to walk outside, and I can't have you here. I gotta get rid of you. Throw you in the furnace.